Hello again, it's Lock Noob, and here we have a very cool little lock all the way from Japan. This is a Miwa DS, not to be confused with its bigger brother, the incredibly hard to pick U9. This is the DS. It's a 10 wafer lock, but the wafers are serrated and can be anywhere in relation to the key top or bottom in this lock, which is kind of cool. The wafers are also serrated, so that will act a little bit like a serrated pin in a standard pin tumbler, in that if you fall into a serration you get a little bit of a false set, but as you pick this lock, when you get to let's call it a true gate, when you actually pick the wafer proper, then you get a much deeper full set every time you pick. Right, let's throw some advice and have a pick of this very cool little Japanese lock. So here we are in the vise. Let me just check it's all working smoothly. Yep, perfect. And here is the key. Now the thing is, you can't tell much about the position of the wafers, which are 5 top wafers and 5 bottom wafers, from the key itself, because the top and bottom wafers are mixed up. So it could be anywhere along the length here are the top wafers and the bottom wafers. By the top wafers, I mean the ones you have to push up. When you push the wafers up using the top of the key, so the wafers would interact with the top of the key here, what's happening is they're freeing the wafers up from a cutout or a gate at the bottom. So the top wafers are pulling the wafers out of the bottom, and the same is true in reverse, that if you push down on the wafers at the bottom, again, which could be anywhere along here but at the bottom, you're freeing the other side of the wafers up from a sort of like a gate from the top. Now those are serrated wafers as well, so they can hang up and they act a little bit like serrated pins, which means I will use some relatively light tension like that. Now, to get indication of roughly where the wafers might be, you can use something like a hook and just move that across, and you'll hear little clicks like that as you, so one at the back and then a couple at the front, it seems. So it looks like we've got maybe 1 or 2 top wafers here and a couple at the front, and then let's have a look at the bottom. Oh yeah, they're all somewhat in the middle, it seems. Okay, right, enough talking about it, let's just try and pick it. So very light tension, just light, nothing too harsh, just rest my finger on there. And I've got a couple of picks. This one's a bit longer, so I'm just going to go in and see what I can get. So all the way to the back, and just gently pull back on this until I can hear those wafers springing, but nothing's binding. So flip over, have a look at the bottom, and yes, I'm getting a binder there. That's wafer 5, 4, 3, little movement. I don't know if you saw the core move. As you pick this, you go into sort of like, it feels like a false set, and actually if you are caught on a serration, it sort of is like a false set. So just going along the bottom there, I can't feel anything else binding, so go along the top. That's wafer 3, and a big core movement there. Nothing on 2. Back to the back, all the way to the back. Very, very light tension, and I'm just going along here, and so I can feel wafer 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, nothing there. So again, I can go to the bottom, wafer 5, 4, 3, 2, maybe something on 1 there. Now this is quite a lovely pick, but it's a bit flexible. So to bully myself out of any serrations, I'm going to use a slightly more thick pick. This is 25,000 as opposed to 18, and it just means I can test any binding wafers to see whether they are fully set or caught on serration, I think, a little easier. That's why I'm using very, very light tension, just to test my way through the lock. And I'll go to the bottom and do the same. If we're caught on serration, hopefully I'll pick my way out of it there. So there's a little click on wafer 2. Back to the back again. And yeah, this is basically what I'm just doing, just putting a bit more force under light tension to see if I can't find anything to pick. And if that doesn't work, we'll go to the top and we'll try and do the same here. So going back to the front. So 5, 4, nothing, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Do you hear that? I reckon that's picked. Here we go. Now, sadly, I can't gut this. You can see that the inner sort of cassette, which has the gating in, is trapped by these crimps here and here. The way to get this out would be, of course, to drill this or cut the crimps off, which I need to slide this whole thing out and explore. There is a circlip at the back which would pull out the inner part, but that would be very, very risky putting that back together, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that is the Miwa DS 10 wafer serrated wafers at that, Japanese door lock. Pretty cool lock. I hope you agree. And yeah, if you do like this lock and this video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It really helps me out. If you have a comment about this or anything else, please leave one below. I do read all the comments and reply to as many as I can. And of course, I'll see you all next time.